I lied in Magic Kingdom. I told my coworkers at AllEars that I wanted to learn more about them, so I asked them to rank the rides in Magic Kingdom from 1 to 10. Then I stole their expert knowledge and I compiled a list of the 10 best rides in Magic Kingdom for you. Number 10 in our list of the 10 best rides in Magic Kingdom, according to the AllEars staff, It's a Small World. It's a Small World debuted at the 1964 World's Fair in New York and was then moved to Disneyland. When Magic Kingdom opened in 1971, we got our very own here. There is no height requirement. It is a boat ride, a slow-moving boat ride that's appropriate for the entire family, and it has amazing characters and art direction by Mary Blair, who is an iconic Disney artist and Imagineer, and I can't wait to share this ride with you right off the bat. Our number 9 ride, the People Mover. This is great. This was actually one of Walt Disney's transportation concepts for Progress City, his city idea before Epcot. And it is realized beautifully in this park as it was originally in Disneyland. The Disneyland version closed to create a ride called Rocket Rods, which no longer exists. So that never came back. They do not have a People Mover in the original home of the People Mover anymore, but we do in Walt Disney World here in Magic Kingdom. It is absolutely no height requirement. It is just something to get on and ride around Tomorrowland and check out all the sights. It's very relaxing. It's very iconic. The original sponsor of the People Mover in Disneyland was Goodyear tires, and the ride was actually, the vehicles were propelled by tire, but not the way that you normally see, that they're attached to the vehicle. The wheels were actually embedded in a track, and they would turn and move the cars forward. When they brought the ride to Magic Kingdom, they decided to plus that up by actually embedding magnets into the track that propel the cars forward. So yes, this is a magnet-powered vehicle that we're about to board. And although Goodyear is no longer the sponsor, the rubber ramp that you ride up to get up here is a Goodyear rubber ramp. So look out for that cool kind of Easter egg. It's just something cool to look out for that connects us to the history of this ride. Another reason you have to prioritize People Mover, amazing views of Cinderella Castle.
Tomorrowland Urban Planning and Star Traders.
Oh, and you can get this on AllEars style. Wait, here's the castle. There's even a model of Progress City inside one of the dark sections of the People Mover when you go inside the building that has Star Traders. We're talking Walt Disney's actual model of Progress City that includes a little tiny People Mover model before it was even real. So cool. Spoiler alert, we'll be riding that soon. We'll also be riding Space Mountain soon. And for those of you who don't want to go through the full experience of riding this ride in the dark, a herky-jerky roller coaster in the dark, then go ahead and board the People Mover, because you can totally recline in your vehicle, moving slowly through Space Mountain. You can have some of the experience of Space Mountain without actually doing it. Number 8 on our list of the best rides in Magic Kingdom. This is kind of a burn because it's the newest ride in Magic Kingdom, Tron. Wow, why did the AllEars staff rate this so low on the list? Well, first of all, there could only be 10 rides, and at least it made the list, even if it's towards the bottom. But I will say this is a ride vehicle on a coaster style ride with a cycle style seat that isn't going to accommodate everybody. In fact, they do offer adaptive seating, regular roller coaster seats in the back of some of the trains. Now you can see it does move fast. It's a very fast, exciting ride, but it's also short. It's, from our calculations, exactly 1 minute from the time you take off to the time you pull back in to the station, which is not very long, especially if you're joining a virtual queue for it at 7 a.m. and then waiting in a long return for it, or purchasing an individual Lightning Lane reservation for it, which is what we did for $20, which is expensive, especially if you have a whole group of people in your travel party or in your family. So this makes it a divisive ride and something not everybody's prioritizing at this point, because you either have to wait between an hour and an hour and a half once your boarding group is called, having joined successfully the virtual queue if you were lucky enough at 7 a.m. or 1 p.m. or purchase that individual Lightning Lane return for kind of a lot of money. But I'm excited to ride it today. We did purchase it. That means we did know what time we got to ride, which means it is now our return time for the individual Lightning Lane, and we don't have to wait in as long a line because we bought the individual Lightning Lane reservation. Our return should be about 15 minutes based on what we've experienced in the past. So let's do it. 40-inch height requirement. Test seats out front. I'm going to show them to you now. This is not a joke. Come and test them out, because various shapes and sizes won't be accommodated by these ride vehicles. A lot of it has to do with calf size. We've heard different ability levels. You might not want to be in this position, right? Let's scan in. It is our return time, and let's ride it. Another thing you have to think about when riding Tron is the fact that you really do have to put your things in a locker. They provide lockers for free here. They're double-sided, so you pick them up. You pick the stuff up that you put in the locker on the other side, which is disorienting. You have to remember your number. You also can't activate the locker with your cell phone. I use my cell phone for my park pass and mobile order, to pay for things using Apple Pay, and you can't do that here. You have to have a physical card or a Magic Band. I'm choosing 470. I took a picture of it. There is, you can have your phone with you because there's a tiny little compartment in the front that you could put like 1 or 2 items in, but really truly put your sunglasses, your hats. I have my cord for my fuel rod. Whatever you have in your pockets with you, do put them in here. You don't want that flying out, because if it goes outside, you don't want that falling on someone's head. Please, no. I'm gonna keep my card with me in my pocket because obviously you do have to open the locker. the adaptive seat in the last row. It is not on every train, but you can see it is more like a traditional roller coaster seat, and that's actually how I rode it the very first time, and I really enjoyed myself. So don't think that you're lacking in experience by needing or wanting to ride in the adaptive seating, but we're gonna do it the traditional way today, I guess you would call it. Traditional for Tron. So remember where it was before? Well, now it's here. So remember what I said about it being disorienting? It'll be the other side of the locker. See, it's the back of my hat. Not gonna lie, that is a very, very, very fun ride. I had a great time. And it was even a little more fun right now because I was forced to put my phone down, stop recording, and just enjoy it. And I really did. I took it all in. I really lived it for you. And I thought, was this all worth it? And purchasing the ride for $20, not waiting in hardly any line at all, and getting to experience this really cool new ride, even though the ride vehicle is not my favorite thing. And that's it hurts me, okay? It hurts me to get on, it hurts me to ride it. I'm really a fan of that adaptive seating. But all in all, I do think that's an experience you have to have if you can have it. So Tron, go for it, even though it's number 8 on our list. The number 7 ride on our list, Jungle Cruise. This is classic, could not be more classic. Opening day attraction for Disneyland, as well as here in Magic Kingdom. No height requirement, the whole family can ride together. It's a funny boat ride through the jungle, and it's nothing but good times and classic fun. Let's go ride it now. Get confused when I first see this again. I think they're making an ELO joke, the band. It's a living thing, but it's Elova Fever. Elova Fever. Is that what it is, or is it an ELO joke?
Be rude, wave goodbye to the ugly ones as well. Yeah, of course, you guys know the difference between in-laws and outlaws, right? Outlaws are walking into the port station. That is a family alliance, babysitting a sleeping zebra. It's so precious. Stop panicking! Woo! This shop was freaking out the whole time. Good thing I kept my cool. Wonder of the world, the backside over.
Jungle Cruise is a great piece of Disney Parks history, and it is fun for the entire family. They even have boats that accommodate wheelchairs, so really truly anybody can ride, and I recommend that you do, and so does the rest of the AllEars team, who definitely put this one on their list. Some people had this a lot higher. Someone had this as their number 1. So don't think because it's a little bit lower on the list that it doesn't mean it's not an amazing ride you should definitely prioritize. The number 6 ride on our list is, it's gonna be something I say over and over again today because it is something that I think members of our team take into consideration. It's classic, okay? The first version of this ride opened here. This is the original version in Magic Kingdom, opened in 1975, and it went to other parks from there. It is a 44-inch height requirement, but it is something that you have to be prepared for in terms of getting into the seat. They're toboggans. It's kind of like, it's a space toboggan. That's how I think of it. We're talking about Space Mountain, by the way, and it is a ride that you have two options. You, like many rides in Walt Disney World, it does offer Lightning Lane reservations. What's different and unique about this ride and its Lightning Lane is the fact that the Lightning Lane, it boards, okay, so when you walk in, I'll point it out, to the right, those tracks on the right side, that is where the Lightning Lane loads. Now, I have thought this, riding it many times, both sides, and I asked before, and you told me in the comments you agree, the right side, or when you're facing the loading area, the left side, where Lightning Lanes load, is actually a smoother track. And I think it's a much smoother track. And I've done both a ton. So I am doing Lightning Lane today because that's what we're doing. And I'll let you know how it feels. But right now, we're gonna ride Space Mountain, the true original Magic Kingdom ride. Well, there have been other true original Magic Kingdom ride. All right, coming up here is what I'm talking about. Do you see this is a track on the left hand when you're walking in. On the right hand over here, this is where we're going for our Lightning Lane reservation. And this is the side I think is a lot smoother if you book Lightning Lane reservations. So why wouldn't you enjoy Space Mountain? Well, I will say the right side, when you walk in, the Lightning Lane side, felt much smoother to me than when I ride on the non-Lightning Lane side, the standby side. But that being said, it's still very herky and jerky. I turned my head and we hit a bump and I thought, uh-oh, is this gonna be a problem? But I think I'm okay. You don't really know till the next day. It is not a super fast roller coaster. It is just bumpy and it's in almost complete darkness. You can kind of see some stars, so if you're afraid of the dark, you don't like feeling like you're going fast or being jostled around a lot, probably not the ride for you. And if you don't like the look of those seats, the ride vehicle, it's definitely not getting easier to get myself out of them. So up to you. But our team certainly loved this ride enough to make it number 6 on our list. You can always tell when I've done a ride that's really bumpy because I can barely spiel afterwards. I'm like, it was definitely something that we love. Number 6. The number 5 ride on our list, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. Who doesn't love a ride with no height requirement that's also a game? Yes. This is the Toy Story Mania of Magic Kingdom. Had this ride not opened first. So technically, Toy Story Mania is the Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin of everywhere. But anyway, we're gonna ride it now and it's gonna be fun. I have to point out that this is the sign for Delta Dream Flight, okay? It's who I am. I have to say it. What I mean is it's the same basic sign and then they added the overlay to it. But it's still the same basic sign underneath, or I don't know if it's still there. The words are actually there, the lettering, but you know what I'm saying. It's a cool fun fact, right? There are people on our team that are very good at this game. I'm not one of them. We've made this very clear in past videos. You've seen me think that I did well, and it turns out I did well under what was being asked of me. Let alone a galactic hero. Never have I gotten a sticker, but members of our team have, and so you should go watch their video about how they got really high scores on this ride. So you should watch me to decide if old people will like it. These are also the Delta Dream Flight If We Had Wings ride vehicles that just have a new paint job. And that's my favorite part of this ride. Yeah, 166,000. Man, even stuck in one place, I only got planetary pilots. Is somebody having fun? Is that the face of someone having fun? Number 4 on our list, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is on the newer side. It opened in 2014, which I can't believe it is 10 years ago now, and it continues to be one of, if not the most popular ride in Magic Kingdom, even more so than Tron, which is the newest ride and opened like less than a year ago, and this one's 10 years old, and it is still dazzling families because, yeah, I mean, it's a 38-inch height requirement on this, so all of your kids aren't going to be able to ride it, but when your kids are tall enough to ride, it's a great family coaster. It's a story coaster. It takes you inside the mine train. So you see the Seven Dwarfs. They have really cool projection faces. You can ride this 2 different ways. You can buy an individual Lightning Lane reservation for it. It was $10 today, half the price of Tron. Arguably more popular. Well, it's hard to judge the popularity because of the fact that Seven Dwarfs Mine Train offers a standby queue and Tron does not. You can only join a virtual queue or purchase an individual Lightning Lane, and it was twice as much, $20 today as opposed to $10 for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. But we're gonna ride it now because it's the number 4 ride as picked by the AllEars staff. I'm entering through the Lightning Lane queue, so I'm sorry I won't be able to count the hidden speakers for you today. I know. Our number 3 video has no height requirement, so everyone is welcome to ride. In fact, I think they would be dying to have you, but not everybody is going to want to ride because this can be intense for some guests. Our cast member RJ famously is terrified of this ride. Of course, I'm talking about the Haunted Mansion, and we're gonna board a Doom Buggy, and we are going to possibly join them forever. They have 999 happy haunts, but there's always room for one more, as they say. As you can see, we have a Lightning Lane reservation for this ride, but this is one of those rides where the Lightning Lane can actually get pretty long. And I wouldn't make note of it because it happens to every ride at some point, especially if it closes at some point during the day. I only mention it for this because it's one that I see consistently being very long, but it's moving quickly, so that's a great sign. And right now the standby wait is only 35 minutes, so it can't be that long. Or can it? That would be really scary. All right, so that was about a 30-minute wait in that. Oh, there's a bit of a line forming for us before the pre-show also. Haunted Mansion is an opening day attraction in Magic Kingdom, so it's been here for over 50 years, but it recently got a boost in popularity because of the fact that they added a new effect called the Hatbox Ghost. The Hatbox Ghost was a character and effect that was in the very, 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 very original Disneyland version of this ride, but Imagineers didn't think the effect worked well, so it was removed and never seen. But over the years, the tale of the Hatbox Ghost, the lore of it, grew and people became obsessed with it. And Imagineers knew this. I'm sure there were many young Imagineers who grew up hearing about the Hatbox Ghost and being obsessed with it too. So they made the decision first to add it to the Disneyland version, where it was meant to be originally, and then finally, just a couple of months ago, they added it here in Walt Disney World. The little bride at the end is named Little Leota because her face and voice are of Leota Toombs, who is a legendary Disney Imagineer. And that's really cool. She's also the face of Madame Leota, but that's not her voice. But anyway, when I was growing up, the reason I'm telling you this story, my Uncle Graham, who got me into Disney parks, told me that that was Anne Margaret's face and voice. And I believed him, and I really loved that. And I used to tell a lot of people that. And this was before the internet, so we couldn't fact check it. It was just, he told me that, and it was the truth, and I believed it, and I told everyone. So if you are one of the people I told that that is Anne Margaret at the end of Haunted Mansion, I was not correct. The number 2 ride on our list, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. This is a roller coaster. It has a 40-inch height requirement. Not everyone's going to be able to ride. Not everybody's going to want to ride, but it is super fun for those who do. The first version of this ride opened in Disneyland in 1979. The second version opened in 1980 right here in Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. The third version opened in Tokyo Disneyland in 1987, and finally the fourth version opened in 1992 in Disneyland Paris. That would be funny if it opened in 1920, since that would make it really the first one by a lot of years. But enough about history, let's go ride this ride today. Come on, let's do it. Mountain Railroad. They don't call it the wildest ride in the wilderness for nothing, but you can handle it if you like roller coasters that bump you around a lot. You'll love this one, and there are a ton of reasons that our crew picked it as number 1. And those reasons are history, nostalgia, thrills, and theming. This ride really is a convergence of a lot of things that make Disney parks fun for a lot of people. So it's absolutely no surprise to me that all our staff, averaged together, put this as number 2. And the number 1 ride as voted by the staff of AllEars, a ride that is really a combination of a lot of things. It's got thrills, but there's no height requirement. It's got incredible immersive theming and storytelling, but it's not so scary that kids and people who maybe struggle with a little anxiety like me can't ride it and really enjoy it. We're talking about Pirates of the Caribbean. I am so glad our team chose this as the number 1 ride in Magic Kingdom, because everybody can ride it together. And it's classic. There is nostalgia, there is history, it is very iconic, but it isn't so spooky or thrilling that you're gonna be scared, or your kids are gonna be scared. But it's also not so tame and slow moving. I mean, it is slow moving, but there's a couple of dips that'll really get you, but not in not in a too intense way. It also is dark for a lot of the ride, so if you are afraid of drops, if you are afraid of darkness, then those are things to take into consideration. But for the most part, this is a ride that really families can enjoy together, and it is no mystery why it made it to number 1 on the AllEars cruise list of the best rides in Magic Kingdom. Well, what did you think? Was it worth destroying the trust of my coworkers for a video yet again? Or do you think I should let my coworkers keep their tips to themselves next time? Let us know in the comments below. If you liked this video, please go ahead and like and subscribe. And now go watch the AllEars team try to ride every single ride in Walt Disney World in one day. I don't know if they can do it. See you next time.